Hello everybody and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be talking about InVideoAI. This is a platform that I've covered in the past, but they've got a brand new update, their V3 version 3 model. And let me tell you, this thing rewrites how you define generative AI video. Because unlike any other AI video creation platform, InVideo V3 handles all of the heavy lifting for you. All you have to do is give it a basic general text prompt, and it will make a full script, generate a voiceover, use AI video generators to actually create clips to be used inside of the video, add subtitles, add music, and handle all of the editing at once. It's pretty darn astounding. And it doesn't just make short little clips like something you'd see on TikTok. It can make full-length YouTube videos. Mind-blowing stuff. And as we go through the video today, I want you guys to keep in mind that there really isn't another platform that does what InVideoAI does. There are similar platforms, but nothing that can just take a text prompt and create a full-length YouTube video from it. Anyways, welcome back to the InVideoAI interface. As you can see, we start with a basic text prompt box, and it says, give me a topic, premise, and detailed instructions in any language. And sure enough, let's give it some. First prompt I'm going to do is create me a YouTube video deep dive into the hidden lore behind Gumball machines. I'll be straight up with you guys, I have no idea if there is even hidden lore behind Gumball machines, but we'll see what the AI can come up with. Make it intriguing, mysterious, and interesting. Here is some data to go off. And you know what? We'll just give it like the entire history of the Gumball machine from Wikipedia. Generate me a video in video. So it's analyzing the script, everything I sent into it, and now it's thinking. It's kind of like an AI agent, as you can see. I mean, it has to have some sort of an agentic process to take a prompt and then turn it into an entire YouTube video, right? Okay, now it's preparing and analyzing content, and then it brings you to this screen, where it will give you some auto-generated options based on whatever input you gave it from your text prompt. You're going to notice a new section up here in comparison to InVideo V2, which allows you to choose from stock media or generative media. The stock media comes from a variety of different sources and is pre-recorded in the past by humans. The generative media pings AI video generation APIs and creates you a bunch of pre-prompted videos, which likely will be more in tune with your video than the stock media, right? So we'll do a 4-minute YouTube video. You could do up to 10 minutes. We'll make it basic YouTube platform, and we'll keep the realistic visual style. As you can see at the bottom, every pixel will be generated from scratch by AI. And now we wait. The actual video generation process begins. This can definitely take some time, probably less time than it would take you to make a video about Gumball machines. So we'll be right back. And here it is. It took about, I'd say, 25 minutes-ish to generate this. Keep in mind, front to back, fully AI generated. Let's take a look. Alright guys, so I went ahead and downloaded the video in full quality without any kind of logos or anything. Let's see what the AI was able to cook up.
Let's say I'm a connoisseur of the spherical and sweet. Gumballs, to be precise. And not just any gumballs, mind you. Oh, and the machines that house them. You see, I've spent years, decades really, unraveling the mysteries behind these seemingly innocuous dispensers of childhood joy. It's become my life's work, you might say. It all began in 1907 when the first Gumball machines appeared. Simple, right? A clear sphere atop a metal base. Insert a coin,
Hang on, wait. I think it took a different route with this and actually used my reference material to make its own story of sorts. First impressions, though, I have to say, the voice sounds incredibly real, and the AI-generated videos, man, they did a pretty good job at developing an AI to prompt them automatically because they came out quite good. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect. AI video is nowhere near perfect yet. For where we are right now, this is pretty darn impressive.
The crank receive a treat. But as I delved deeper, I noticed oddities. Inconsistencies in design, unnecessary complexities in mechanism. I began to catalogue these peculiarities, cross-referencing patents and tracking the evolution of these machines across decades. A pattern was emerging, but its meaning remained elusive. It wasn't until I acquired a rare pulver machine from 1897 that I began to unravel the truth. This particular model was a turning point in my investigation, a key that would unlock a century of secrets. Hidden within its base, I found a cipher, a key to a code used by a clandestine organization known only as the Sphere. As I decoded more messages, a vast tapestry of secret communications unfolded before me. The Gumball machines weren't just dispensers, they were nodes in a global network of information exchange. But the question remains, in this digital age, are the Gumball machines still in use? And if so, what secrets are they sharing? Next time you pass a Gumball machine, look closely. You might just be witnessing history in the making, one sweet, colourful sphere at a time. The secrets are out there, waiting to be uncovered by those who dare to look beyond the surface.
Wow.
Let's go back to the beginning. Thomas Adams, the supposed inventor of the Gumball machine, was more than just a candy enthusiast. His connections to various political figures of the time raised eyebrows, but were quickly dismissed as business networking. But why would a simple candy vendor have the ear of senators and diplomats? The answer, I believe, lies in the very first batch of Gumballs ever sold. Each one, I discovered, contained a tiny slip of paper. A message, perhaps, or a code? The Gumballs themselves were perfect for this purpose, easily destroyed, leaving no trace of the message they once held. As the popularity of Gumball machines grew, so did their potential as a covert communication network. The Ford Gum and Machine Company, founded in 1934, took things a step further. Their distinct chrome machines weren't just for show. The metallic sheen served as a perfect reflective surface for discrete visual signals. And the local service organizations they partnered with, potential fronts for expanding the network. But the real genius was in the Gumballs themselves. Different colors, different flavors, different messages. A red Gumball might signal danger, while a blue one could mean message received. The complexity of the machines increased over time. The Model 60 and Model 80 by Northwestern Corporation were marvels of engineering. But why such intricate mechanisms for simply dispensing candy? My theory, these machines were capable of much more than met the eye. Some could potentially intercept radio waves, others might have been early encryption devices. The Gumball machine network was a precursor to modern-day secure communication systems. But as technology advanced, the need for such an analog network diminished. Or did it? In an age of digital surveillance, could these old-school methods be making a comeback? I've noticed a resurgence in Gumball machine installations in certain government buildings and tech company headquarters. Coincidence? Or a return to a simpler, more secure form of communication? The beauty of it all is the perfect camouflage. Who would suspect a childhood treat of being part of a global conspiracy? So the next time you see a Gumball machine, take a moment to really look at it. Notice the details, the craftsmanship, the potential for something more. Is it just dispensing candy, or is it part of a vast, hidden network that shaped history for over a century? The truth is out there, hidden in plain sight, one Gumball at a time. And remember, in a world of digital noise, sometimes the most important messages come in small, sweet, colourful spheres.
Wow. Okay, I'm pretty shocked. It took its own route with this thing. Obviously, none of what is explained in this little AI-generated script is true. This is all creative, just made up by the AI. But it managed to combine real history and real facts with it to make it seem a little bit more believable, which is scary in some ways, I suppose, but obviously this is fake. I mean, it's about gumball machines. The AI-generated videos range from being, like, shockingly good, such as this scene, to being pretty mushy and bad. Like, obviously some, morphing, glitching going on. That's not really InVideo AI's fault. Obviously, as AI-generated video improves over time, and it will, these things will get more and more consistent. So this is more like an early peek at what could be something really, really special. Because imagine the best videos, in this example, the best little AI-generated clips, but all of the clips are of that quality level. It's something that's going to happen in the next few years. And already, I think the voice is pretty much indistinguishable from a real human voice. The songs that they chose for the background are quite good, and I could have sworn I heard some sound effects as well. Just incredible. I mean, they put some real work into InVideo V3 in terms of all of its capabilities and the way it kind of combines and brings everything to life together. It is no joke, and I think this was a pretty great test. I'm pretty impressed by how consistent it was able to do a lot of the shots, though. Like, sure, some of them looked really bad, like this one with the kids in the park, but some of them I was, like, really impressed by, like the melting gumball inside of the water to deliver the secret messages. Like, dang, man. This looks good. And such a creative idea as well. I really thought that this script was interesting and well-rounded, made for like a fun little video. Obviously, if it was based on true events, it would be more interesting, but still, it's not a bad little YouTube video. I think it's pretty interesting. And it also did like this film grain effect too, which you could see throughout it. Obviously, we're talking about the past here, so that does make sense. And it gave us a consistent character as well. I don't know if you guys picked up on that, but, you know, obviously there's this old man. He's like an investigator of these Gumball technologies, right? And he's telling us the story. And, you know, he changes quite frequently, but it did about as good as it could, keeping this guy consistent. He has the same clothing, the same glasses, mustache, hair, relatively speaking. Obviously, the AI generator, the video generator, is not going to be able to do it perfect, but it's not too bad. Like, it's reasonable, I think. Like I said, there's nothing else out there that really compares to InVideo in this regard. It does everything for you. I just put a simple text prompt in, and it spat this out. Mind-blowing. I've got to go back and click the edit button here to bring up all of the clips. You can see we have everything split up by media here, then the music, then the script, and finally some settings. Wow. And it's split up by chapters as well. I mean, look at how many AI-generated clips had to be made to put this together. And of course, if we do come across one that we, aren't a fan of, something like that, such as this one, for example, had some morphing in the background, we can either upload our own media that we have recorded or procured. You can literally go do your own AI generations with your own prompts and then replace these. Or you could redo the generative media or replace it with stock media. And there we go. I just replaced it with some stock media that looks maybe a little bit better. If we go to the music, we can see the different tracks that it picked. I don't think the music here is AI generated. I think this comes from like a stock music place. But hey, that's also something that could happen in the future, right? You could have AI generated songs as well. And it has 3 total chapters here. And each chapter gets its own music, which kind of sets the tone for the given chapter. And I think we really noticed that while we were watching the video. It's kind of crazy how well it does it. InVideo AI has come a long way since I tested it not too long ago. I think it was maybe like a year ago, maybe less than a year. And if we see the script, you can kind of see how everything is put together. Chapter 1 is the secret history of the Gumball machines, unveiling the hidden lore. Wow, this must be the prompt. Vintage Gumball machine with title appearing, quick glimpse of vintage Gumball machine. And then we have the script and the narrator here, the voice that it chose. A connoisseur of the spherical and sweet, gumballs to be precise, and not just any gumballs, mind you, and the machines that house them. You see, I've spent years, decades really, unraveling the mysteries behind these seemingly innocuous dispensers of childhood joy. It's become my life's work, you might say. Like, that's actually a pretty well-written sentence there. The script's not written poorly. Man, I'm just shocked. I'm really impressed. I really am. The voice, too. Let's see. We have narrator here. You can also change the speed of the speaker's voice if you want here in settings. They have a lot of little dials and settings, so you can tweak this to be exactly how you want. You can change the script and redo it, which is good. I like the fact that you have all of these options right in here, and that's something that's been consistent with InVideo since I originally tested it. They've also got some overlaying settings here, text preset, sound effect master volume, which seems to be dialed in. Like, sound effects are at 75%, and I was right. They are adding sound effects in here as well, which it totally adds to it. It can be these subtle little things that make a video really stand out as something with a little bit more effort, a little bit more work put into it, in comparison to something that just doesn't have any sound effects at all, right? Music volume at 80 with the voiceover at 100, which is the highest. I'd probably personally crank the voiceover a little bit higher, but not by too much. And you can see it only has one character, which is the narrator. So it's not wrapped into having to create a story with like 4 or 5 different characters at once. It knows that, this is a YouTube video and we really only need one character who is the narrator. It's an intelligent system. Okay, so it's at this point in the video where I do want to go over the plans. They do have a free plan here. You get 10 AI minutes per week, and this relates to InVideo AI, not AI media generation, and you get 4 exports per week with watermarks. I guess the watermarks do make sense for a free plan. Now then, if you want to upgrade to Plus, which is $25 a month, you get a decent amount of AI minutes and iStock minutes, which allows you to use InVideo V2 levels or InVideo V3 with iStock instead of generative media, because it has no generative credits included still at the $25 a month plan. However, you do get unlimited exports at that higher quality level, which is good to see. Lots of cloud storage. And if you want generative credits, you can add them on, which will slowly bump up your price. But even 60 seconds of generative credits puts an extra $10 a month onto your Plus plan. Basically, this add-on here is just for you to try the generative credits, the generative media. If you really want to start actually generating, you're going to have to bump up to one of these max or generative plans with max 60 seconds of generative credits per month, but 200 AI minutes, 320 iStock. So I think they're still saying that you might want to have to lean into iStock here if you're using InVideo quite frequently, unless you want to go with the generative plan at $120 a month, which gives you 15 minutes of generative credits, which is a decent amount. I think a lot of folks would probably opt for the Plus plan and then use their own AI video generators at this point in time, just because of the pricing. If you got some money, it's great to have it do most of the heavy lifting for you. And you do get a little bit of a discount, 20% off if you go with that yearly plan. That puts you at $96 a month. I still like that they have the add-on for generative credits with the smaller plans. So, you don't have to spend $60 a month to try AI generative credits. It looks like at the minimum here, it's like $35 a month. Now, what is true and is absolutely worth considering here is the fact that generative AI video is getting cheaper and cheaper. It's getting more efficient and more efficient. We're like right in the apex of performance increase in the AI-generated video space. It is booming right now with new updates weekly. New open source models, closed source models, tons of competition, faster generations, higher quality generations, and of course, like I said, cheaper generations over time. Really, the main reason for the pricing here is that InVideo AI is kind of the no compromises solution. It does everything for you, while most platforms only do 1 or 2 things. It does the editing, it does the generating of the videos, it prompts the AI video generators, it writes the whole script for you, gathers the right stock media, and then it just lets you make whatever tweaks you might have to do before finally finishing up the video, right? It's definitely pretty cool, and I think one of the largest benefits that you're going to see out of generative video creation technology, such as InVideo, like an all-in-one solution, is the ability to quickly explore avenues and ideas without having to worry about it. Obviously, right now, like we just discussed, it's expensive. At the quality level right now, let's say we take that Gumball example. It's a really cool concept, and I think it's a great proof of concept especially. Is it something I would upload to YouTube right now? Probably not, but with a few tweaks, I definitely would consider it. And like I said, it makes for a fantastic base to replicate and maybe even create your own thing off of. The idea I'm trying to get at here is that you can spitball these really unique creative concepts out and let them be explored more naturally without you having to worry about all of the little ins and outs and details. I think it's great for creative exploration is what I'm trying to say. Now, I do have some other pre-generated examples for you guys. This is an example for like a YouTube short or a TikTok video. It's vertical. This one is fully using the iStock footage. I want to show you guys what iStock and non-generative media looks like as well. This was still created with V3, mind you, but again, just not opting for the generative media. And this one, I think you guys are going to notice, has a familiar voice. Hey, am I the only one that didn't know social media was a black hole? Let's talk about why you can't escape from doom scrolling. So, you're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Suddenly, it's 3 a.m. and you're watching videos about how to train a squirrel. Why? Because the algorithm knows you better than your mom. First, there's FOMO, fear of missing out. Heaven forbid you miss the latest meme. And then there's the infinitely scrollable feed. It's like a buffet where you never get full. And let's not forget the dopamine hits. Every like, every share. It's like your brain's playing a slot machine. Ding, 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 jackpot. So next time you find yourself doom scrolling, remember, it's not you, it's social media's fault. Now, go ahead and share this video. Because, let's be honest, you're not stopping anytime soon. Am I the only— I like the ending, I like the script. Obviously, this one, I think you guys will notice, needs a little bit more work. The pacing, the speed of the video is not ideal. Thankfully, that's something that's easily adjusted. And yeah, by the way, that does sound like my voice, doesn't it? I wasn't really aware of it, but when I first generated this, I was like, wait a second, I'm pretty sure that's me. It really wasn't that surprising, though, because I think I know where they're getting this voice. I am aware that my voice is being used across the web for shorts content. Anyways, yeah, the first change I would probably make is to go to script here, go to narrator, and then change the speed to like 1.6 maybe, something like that. And then I can just click Save Changes, and just like that, hey, am I the only one that didn't know social media was a black hole? Let's talk about why you can't escape from doom scrolling. It sounds a little bit better, I think. By the way, InVideo also has a feature here where you can edit it just via text prompts, which is pretty crazy. Make the script more funny. Generate. Now, more complex and deep-rooted edits, such as changing the whole script, will take more time, but it'll do it automatically for you. Moving on to another example I have, this is Why You Can't Quit Sugar. This is a little bit longer, a minute and 20 seconds, but it's another shorts-style video. This one does use generative media. And this one, I think you guys will find, has a classic soundtrack.
I bet you've tried to cut back on sugar before, only to find yourself reaching for the candy jar again. Well, you're not alone. Sugar, particularly fructose, has been increasingly recognized for its addictive properties. But what's really going on in our brains when we consume sugar? According to a 2013 study, sugar affects our brain's dopamine system in a way similar to addictive substances. This creates a cycle of cravings and consumption that can be hard to break. And it's not just about willpower, it's about biology. Excessive sugar intake is linked to a host of health issues. We're talking obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, liver damage, cognitive impairment, and even mental health issues. A 2015 study in the Journal of the American Heart Association found that consuming too many sugar-sweetened beverages was associated with an estimated 184,000 adult deaths per year worldwide. That's 184,000 deaths per year from sugary drinks alone. What about natural sugars, you might ask? While they're certainly a valuable energy source, the key word here is moderation. Moderation is crucial when it comes to any type of sugar.
And there you go. There you have it. I think that the generative media in this was pretty impressive overall. Like, this guy looks pretty good. He looks sad from his sugar addiction. And, like, I thought this was pretty cool where it tries to split up all these different sugary drinks at once. I mean, it doesn't do it perfectly, but I like the try that it gave it. And also, over here, you'll notice that this looks like a sugar crystal, but as it rotates,
184,000 adult deaths per year.
It's actually a sugar skull, and it matches perfectly with what's being described. So, as I said, as AI-generated video gets higher and higher quality, stuff like this is going to be better and better. And they've done a really good job putting things together. There was, I think, one sound effect actually right here that I wasn't a huge fan of, so that's something I probably would remove from this one.
Sugar affects our brain's dopamine system in a—
Like, you can hear it added that sound effect in it. I think it kind of just messes with the flow of the video. Let's do a squishing sound effect to replace it. Good enough. That's like a subtle sound effect. I think you guys get the general gist of this. They do have a few other features, though, that I do want to talk about. First of all, you can do voices, and if you do have a premium plan, you have the ability to make your own custom voices, and I actually did do that. This feature's been around for a while, but they've also got text to clip, so this allows you to just natively prompt and generate AI videos. They've also got text to image, and text to title clips specifically, so this will have words on it. And of course, they also have a bunch of presets for doing all of the different editing. Bokeh particles, old film dust, which we saw with the Gumball video, a stretch and a zoom, warp and cut, cinematic fade, etc., etc. These are all typical presets you might find in video editing software. It's good to see that there's this much detail and this much attention to the overall creation process as a whole. So at the end of the day, I want to hear your thoughts on this. This really is the only fully automated AI video generation platform out there. And of course, us being early adopters of this technology, it is not cheap at all. And I think that will put a lot of customers off. But for those who can and want to afford an all-in-one video generation platform like this, I really think it's the closest glimpse that we have at the future of video creation in regards to AI I've seen to date. Huge thanks to you guys for watching this video, though. I appreciate your feedback, your comments, your likes, your subscribes, and of course, huge thanks to InVideo for sponsoring this little review and allowing us to take a glimpse at the future. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.